What's up, guys? Back in these two with the Faucets Season 2, Episode 9, Leaky Faucets. Okay, so this episode starts off with everyone, without needing Jude, start on their camping trip, except it's like Casey's got and bring, and yeah, and Callie, like, and Callie's like, okay, after the fire at Girls United, and Jesus or Brandon's like, hey, what happened to the Girls United girls? And they're like, they went back to juvie. And even Mariana mentions about, hey, how's your dad doing after break up with Danny? Because remember, they don't know about him, Danny and Brandon sleeping together. So they're like, did she just move in? She just moved in. Why did she move out? And Brandon's like, it's none of our businesses. Leave it alone. And they're all like, okay, let's move on to our next thing. So, yeah, Brandon says how he and Lou are going to this next street festival that Matt is taking Mariana to. Mariana even is seen wearing the dress showing the dress that she first kissed Zach in season 1. So, yeah. So, I get why Mariana and the others wouldn't know about Danny and Brandon sleeping together, because of course it's none of their businesses. It'll be up to the business of Steph, Lena, and Mike, not Mariana, Jesus, and Callie, and Jude. Mentioning Jude, but Jude was in the scene. I'm just saying, it's none of their businesses. I understand why Brandon wouldn't just tell them, because it's none of their businesses. So Jesus takes blindfold Haley Hines and takes her to a place where they slept together, and Haley Hines is not. She's ungrateful for this, because she's like, yeah, you want us to sleep on an old. You want let's sleep together on an old couch. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, it's our first date. No, that was our first sleep together. Yeah, Haley Hines is so ungrateful. He's just put flower petals and all this, and an old couch where they slept together, and she's just like, we haven't even had our first date yet. What an ungrateful girlfriend Jesus she is. So yeah, so Jesus takes her to the Mexican Street Festival, saying it was research, but we all know he took from Brandon. So yeah, so even Wyatt and Callie are here. My boy Wyatt is in this episode. I love it. I just like Wyatt. So, and they meet up Brandon and Lou, and Marlon. Yeah, Matt kind of seems like he's trying to shove Mariana's culture down her. It kind of feels like what Mariana says. So yeah, it kind of feels like that, where he's actually called Spanish cultural icons, and yeah. So Mariana, and we even see Liam in this episode. Yes, Liam said he's back. We haven't seen him since season 1, episode 10. 10, yes. I said 6 in my watch video when I watched this episode, but I meant episode 10. We haven't seen him since episode 10, everyone. Lucky us, we get to see him back. And when White spots him, White cannot help but go after him. Wyatt, you had one job to be there for Callie, and then you see her foster brother. That, yeah. So Brandon discovers it, and even Lou's like, who's Liam? And he's like, so yeah, and White just wants out. Brandon's like, this is not a good idea to chase after Wyatt, because he's like, let's get Callie out of here. And he's like, why is Callie have to leave? This is not a good idea, Wyatt. Wyatt. It's not a good idea. I even saying this in my when I watched this one. So because this episode is called Leaky Faucets, it's because Steph fixes a leaky faucet, or a leaky shower, a leaky faucet. So that's why I kind of feel like this episode shouldn't have been called Leaky Faucets, because it feels like kind of spoiling the episode. Actually, I guess when they're writing this one, they were like, oh yeah, people wouldn't know this is leaky faucet. But it's kind of spoiling this scene where Steph discovers the leaky faucet. She whacks it when the guy she whacks it when the guy tells her to like she like bangs it when the guy tells her to like whack it, and she even gets sprayed in the face in one scene. So Steph stayed even though so Brandon before the Mexican Street Festival, he went to Mike, and we learned, and Mike said that he was just going out, but in reality, he has Anna there. So I guess they're in the program together because they're in the alcoholic program. Didn't know that was a thing, but yeah. So they're not together, and I think it's pretty interesting. They're trying to redeem Anna from her season one appearances, where she just would steal money. They're trying to redeem her here. They're trying to make her a reasonable character that we root for, not a character that we go boo for. They're trying to make her redeemable, and yeah, she even runs into Mariana, where Mariana's like she can't, and he's like she can't do this, and he's like, let's go somewhere and talk. And Mariana's like, so she can lie to her again? No, no. Like, okay, you could have said no once. Why'd you have to say it twice? That was kind of weird. She said no, no. That was kind of like, was she saying it because Mike and Anna were both there? I don't know, but she said no, no. I don't get that. But yeah, so anyway, Brandon catches Jesus while he's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I was telling you this morning, I gotta go chase Wyatt because Wyatt's on a hunt down Liam spree." So he didn't actually say that, but we know that. So Mariana, but Mariana does know about, and does tell Mariana about that she wrote to Stephanie to come see for her and Jesus to come see her. So yeah, but anyway, so speaking of Jesus is in trouble with Haley Hines because Haley Hines is like well, all you want to use her is to sleep with her. I thought he was different. She thought he was different, and he's like, no, he really likes you. And she was like, all the guys could treat her like this, but he thought he was different. He's like, why does he have to prove it to her? So Brandon cut. So unfortunately for Brandon, but Wyatt catches Liam, and Wyatt is basically like, hey, you better leave. I don't want Callie seeing you. And he's like, why don't you just leave? Because Liam's I'm going to say ass, because Liam Olmsted is an ass. There, I said it. And he's basically like, and he's like, dude, and he's like, haven't you put her through, like, do something, leave now, I don't want Callie seeing you. And he's like, haven't you put her through enough? And he's like, look at what she put me through, having to sit in that courtroom. And he's like, yeah, and she was like, he didn't rape her. And he's like, no, he didn't rape her, but she wanted to sleep with him, and that just makes Wyatt mad. We punches Liam, punches him. Brandon gets in the way. Callie sees it's a combative battle, and Brandon does it. Brandon's hurt. Sorry, saying Brandon a lot. If I keep saying Brandon a lot, Brandon won't be a word anymore. So yeah. So Brandon's like talks to, and she was like, that guy did a lot of bad stuff, Callie, and he's like, you just had to go jump in and defend her. She was just joking. She was just joking. He probably had her reasons. He probably has his reasons. He's pretty rock and roll. That's what she says. You're pretty rock and roll, Foster. But even though Lou was very comfortable with Brendan, Callie is not happy at all, and basically yells at Liam, yells at Wyatt, and basically, and Wyatt's like, he is wanting to protect her, and she was like, you know when I have against violence, or do you remember yelling at you the last time you picked a fight with Liam? And he's like, I can't believe we're having this fight again. Yeah. So yeah. And he was like, I just want to protect you, Callie. And she was like, I guess you don't know how to do that. Breaking up with him. Why is it kind of doesn't seem like they broke up, but as it says as it says on the Good Trouble wiki, it says that they broke up this episode. So poor Wyatt, Callie can't just give him a break. He gets in a fight with her ex foster brother for no apparent reason, and look what she does to him. She breaks his heart. Poor Wyatt. Poor Wyatt. He's always getting the toughest breaks because of Callie. But I get why. Callie doesn't like violence. But yeah. Brandon got to yell at Lou. Actually, Lou doesn't even know who Liam is, so I get why. But she called him rock and roll. But Callie with Liam, with Wyatt and Callie, he gets a breakup. Poor Wyatt. But yeah. So Mariana. So he just reveals that he got a tattoo of Haley Hines on his back because he got a tattoo of Haley Hines on his back. I don't like Haley Hines, but this was pretty not okay. He just wants to prove how much he loves her, which is kind of like, does she even love him? Because she's she's manipulating him. In this episode, she didn't like the gesture that he tried to do for her with the old couch. Does she really love him, or is she just using him for her own personal gain? What is her deal? What is Haley Hines' deal? Because Jesus did that whole, bed thing, did the whole couch thing where he thought it was the first date, and then she basically yells, and then yeah, anyway. So Mariana goes to Steph at the end of the episode saying, yeah, so Steph confronts Callie, but then Mariana reveals to Matt that the reason why she wants to avoid her culture of being Latino is because of what her mom did and the bad stuff she did, and that's why she rejects being Latino because of what her mom did. And that's very interesting stuff to know. That Anna's action caused Mariana to reject her culture. That's some very interesting stuff. So later, Mariana goes home and she's like, did Anna say asking us if she wanted to go see us? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I want to see her. Ending the episode. Okay, I thought this episode was really good for an episode. It wasn't interesting. It didn't have like interesting stuff. Again, Callie breaks up with Wyatt again for fighting with Liam again. It seems like every time Wyatt can't. This time it's Wyatt's fault. He could just took Callie away without seeing Liam. Maybe their relationship would have lasted, but no, because the therapy session with her therapist, which I didn't mention about the panic attack, said she has to trust Wyatt until she doesn't. But now she can't trust Wyatt because it's like, Kyle, you could pick any moment that you couldn't program a Wyatt, but you picked a street festival where he fights Liam because you hate violence. Okay, so I thought the episode was real good. Haley Hines, terrible girlfriend for Jesus. She cannot accept anything that he gives her. She manipulates him. When he did the whole old couch thing for their old couch for them to sleep together like they did in this episode 3. She says that she didn't like that. Then she says, "Oh yeah, I thought you were different than the other guys that were true like this," forcing him to want to prove his love by getting a tattoo. So Haley Hines, you probably didn't ask him. Yeah, she didn't ask for him to get a tattoo, and she probably doesn't know. But she is the whole reason because he wants to prove how much he loves her. This is a little weird. But anyway, this has been it. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next, The Fosters.